Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 271 on my countdown to retirement. So, today I started off the day by washing my truck to get all the pollen off that's been building up over the last several weeks because the truck is normally black, but it kind of looked green with all the yellow that's been building up over every section of the car or of the vehicle. Even the tires were like caked with pollen from driving on the roads. And then once I got that done, I was looking around and noticed, there was a lot of caked on pollen on the house, on the garage door. So while I hadn't initially expected to do it, I started washing down the soffits and then the siding and then the garage door and then the windows and ended with the driveway. So 2.5 hours after starting on the truck, I finished spraying everything down, and we're supposed to get rain sometime tomorrow afternoon, so that should knock the pollen down off the roof, and take it away. We have underground piping that connects to our downspouts, so that'll, flush it to the sewers. But, there's nothing like spending a couple of hours doing work that no one else can tell other than you, and that it's all for naught because the pollen's going to keep coming for several more weeks, well into May, before I can do the final cleaning and expect, that the siding and the windows and whatever will stay clean. But made my wife happy, and also, I know it will make my life infinitely easier down the road because there won't be as much caked on uh, pollen on the siding. Also, because my neighbor has a bunch of cherry blossom trees, uh, and the cherry blossoms blow into my yard and then they end up sticking to your siding. If you don't get the cherry blossoms off, they really bake into the paint and it's very hard to get them off later on. So, getting them off was also a top priority today. Um, then after doing that, so I was kind of chill. I said, okay, I'm going to sit down and do my portfolio analysis for the week because I knew it wasn't going to be good. And boy, wasn't boy was I right. It really wasn't good. Effectively, in the last 5 days, I've lost the equivalent of a year's worth of net salary in the market. So, uh, you know, basically, I'm working this year for free until the market rebounds. So that's not a good thing. And tomorrow, I plan to update all my numbers, both expenses and my current uh, balance amounts, and updated assumptions around um, ongoing inflation and the returns in the market and stuff. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Run my Monte Carlo simulations again in Bolden and see if the probability of success is still reasonable for me to retire. Otherwise, I'm going to need to adjust my assumptions until it does become reasonable, and then I'll just have to, make sure that I do whatever I changed if in fact I had to change my assumptions. So that's that. Then my wife wanted to get some updated pillows because I guess ours are faded or whatever on our outside seating areas. So she had shopped on Amazon for a variety of, I guess, different pillow offerings. She grouped them into like a favorites and then asked me to take a look at them. And then I gave her my opinion on which ones I liked versus ones I didn't really care for. And then she ended up, ordering, I think, 4 pillows, 2 of which will be coming shortly because I guess Amazon had them in stock, and then 2 of which will not come here until after Easter. And presumably, we ended up having to pay shipping on them, even though we're Amazon Prime customers. So I'm guessing the other 2 are either coming from China with an uplift post the tariffs, because it was going to be an extra $4 added onto the cost for when they get delivered versus the other ones that we're getting right away. So I don't know, but she wanted them, so it wasn't that big a deal. Um, then we went out to lunch at a local Mexican restaurant, and I got to say, it's the first time I ever felt like profiled. Um, the 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 waitress absolutely did not want to wait on us. Um, and we've eaten at this restaurant, you know, for years. Like we used to go there weekly because it was adjacent to where my wife used to work. So on Saturdays, I'd pick her up from work and we go have lunch there every single Saturday. So like I've been there literally hundreds of times. Um, and it was a waitress I've never seen before. I know most of the other servers in the at the restaurant, but anyway, this lady, because we weren't Hispanic, she did not want to wait on us. There was Hispanic folks sitting behind us on both sides, and then down the row. She waited on every single table, super friendly, very responsive to every single one except for us. And she took our order, got my wife's order messed up anyway, and then, without even telling us, she pawned us off to some other server who they did a good job. I'm not complaining about their work, but they kept coming back and checking on us to see if we were okay and giving us whatever we wanted. But she never even came back, didn't even give us the bill. The other server had to come give us the bill. And like I said, it was the first time I've ever felt that way in this particular restaurant. It was just crazy. Uh, then on the way home from the restaurant, as I indicated yesterday, the butcher at Publix told me if I stopped by today, he could get me some 1.5 inch porterhouse. I went there. I was able to get three, three porterhouse, 1.5 inch thickness on sale at the $9.99 price. I picked those up, and then came home, spoke to my mom. My aunt had been in town staying with my mom because she came in for my other aunt's 90th birthday. So she gave me kind of the scoop of what's happened over the last 4 or 5 days with regard to family events. And then she also told me that tomorrow my sister is putting together a birthday party for my niece's boyfriend's 27th birthday. And while I call him that because he is her boyfriend, they've been together for like, I don't know, 10 years or something. I mean, probably, yeah, since he was like 17. So, I mean, from our perspective, he's like a member of the family. Like, we do things with him, go on trips with them. Like, it's as if they're married, they're just not married. But in any event, super nice guy. So she's throwing him a party tomorrow. So, happy to hear that. And then I roasted a chicken for dinner. And then while the chicken was roasting, I watched the latest 2 episodes of Bosch Legacy on Amazon Prime. And then we had roasted chicken with stuffing and gravy for dinner. And then I took the chicken carcass, put it into a crock pot, and I'm going to let the crock pot run overnight on low to make chicken broth. And then my expectation is to take that chicken broth that I'm making and to actually convert it into matzo ball soup. So we'll see how that goes. And really, that's what I did today. And again, tomorrow I'm going to plan on focusing on Bolden and see what happens there. But that's pretty much everything that happened today. So that's my update. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section down below or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening. Until tomorrow, take care.